So there's been a few questions on specifically HR Buzz IT3 and the way that we use Teams and why we use Teams and why we don't use Teams. So the software requirements for getting an honors degree requires you guys to work in Teams. So it's not something that UNISA dreamt up out of the blue to make things easier. It does not really make things easier. It makes it harder because there is group dynamics coming in. And one of the open educational resources that I find it's very nice to manage the peer review, and Dr. Koch will speak on giving constructive feedback and how to use this tool not to punish people and not to be nasty or express any racial or genderized comments. But to give feedback to help people to actually learn is called TeamMates, and this is what this session is about. So communication between teams, I do request that you do it on the HR Buzz group that in that honors teams group that I have created, right? Yes, Dr. Van Wyk. So people want to know that you are able to work in teams. If you remember what Randir said at the beginning, that people were astonished by his ability to work in team and to manage people. So communication, I think people normally do via WhatsApp. I did enable, and I will also show you where to go find this. On my UNISA, I did enable group chat, so you will be able to use the group chat function. I'll show you where to get it. We do randomized grouping, so I'm sure people will be here. It wants to just give me the number to log in here. So unfortunately, we won't be able. You can't choose groups. It might you are too many to let you choose the groups. So yeah, so let me just start. I just want to open this quickly. It asked me for a number. So I'm going to first just share the screen with you. So this is your My UNISA, My Modules site for the research project in business management. I wonder if anybody can decode what the welcome message says. And if you even realize that it wasn't a mistake. Okay, so you would see here in this little bubble key here, you would see there is group. Right, this is a demo group that I have created just to show Dr. Van Wyk also here how it works. But you would be able to chat here. If you click here, you can share your cell phone number. And it goes there and you can chat. And this is a very good way for you to keep record, like Prof said, keep record of your communication. It's very important, right? So you need to make sure that you communicate where we as UNISA can go and look for evidence. If you do WhatsApp, you need to keep your WhatsApp. So if you set it to disappearing messages, you need to change that. You also need to change it so that you tick show that it has been delivered. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything to anyone. So we need to be able to work on that. And you need to keep the evidence surrounding your participation in the team. So there was a question earlier about students that are a bit was a message about students that are a bit softer than other students. If you feel that your voice is not being heard, please email me. Don't wait until next year to say, listen, they are not not listening to me. Okay, so it doesn't help, guys, to ask me to add you to a team here. You will be added to a team. I will show you, I can show you how I am going to add you to a team. Here's all the participants, here's all the students here. I will then go to groups on the 1st, right? And I will auto create groups on the 1st of April. You will then get a notification from my UNISA in this little bubble here, right? That you have been added to a group, and then you have been added to a group. I cannot then do anything else, okay? So you need to add, then I'm not allowed to share because of the POPI Act, share each other's cell phone numbers. You need to do that, okay? I cannot include you. Don't type to please include me. I cannot include you. You need to be registered to be included, okay? So please don't share your cell phone numbers and email addresses here, except if you want people to have your email addresses and cell phone numbers, okay? So this is what is going to happen. I will do this on the 1st of April. Registrations will be finalized at the 30th of March. I will do this on the 1st of April. After the 1st of April, so by the 2nd, if you click on this little icon, it will have a demo group available for you, okay? All right, so you guys know this is also a good way then to communicate with your group and with your group members, okay? So that, if we just go back to, I see a video coming on. I'm gonna disable this camera just for a moment. This is binary code for the research project in business management. Okay, so yes, Tumelo.
Dr. Stender, just a question regarding groups. We as students, will we be at liberty to choose which sustainable development goal we want to focus on, and then the group sort of randomly chooses people who will focus on that particular goal, or your system will choose a goal for us and then as well as the group members? Thank
Yes,
you.
so you will be randomly assigned a research group as well as a goal with a specific research question. So for this specific research project, we needed to apply for ethical clearance. So that's also why your first assignment is to complete that ethical statement of ethical conduct. It's part of my ethical clearance conditions is that I need all students to have signed that they know what this is and that you guys will act ethically. So, and in that, I needed to give them questions, and then I also needed to make sure that that these questions will be assigned to students. So I do have the questions already. These will be randomized depending on how many groups there are, and then these will be sent out to you. Okay. I will put the list up on my UNISA. I will see if I can access. I will add myself to every group so I can put it in here as well. So make sure that you have it. If you do not have it, you're welcome to email me. Okay. So the binary code that you see here, it's not a mistake. It says research project in business management, was just to be a bit fancy. Okay, then let us just go back here. Okay, so I know you guys are a bit worried about this module. It's not, I don't think you should worry too much about this. We have not that high mark percentage for the module specifically. We've got about the average of 67 for the module, but we have a 97% pass rate. The one thing that I do want you guys to watch out for is called ghost students. They are students who are join groups and they have now realized that it is possible to bypass the system, and then they will let you know that they have deregistered, but they do not deregister. And then they still get the group marks. So please keep an eye out for that. Why, Violet, why is anxiety killing you? Because of the group work. No. The group work is fun. I will see, maybe I can get Randir in or one of the other students to just speak to you about the group work. Don't let group work cause anxiety. It's really not that bad. And also you would see the marks are a bit different this year than it was last year, and the allocations. So you are a bit more in control than you have been in the past. Let me just see. I think we've got a little bit of a problem with the there we go. With the presenter coming in, I'm just trying to get her on the phone. In the meantime, okay. So let's have a look at the other tool that you would be getting.
Dr. Stander, I am in the meeting.
Oh, you
Yes, I
here? There
am.
you are. Welcome, Dr. Koch.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So Dr. Koch, I want to show them TeamMates quickly and what it looks like. So it's not something that they are afraid of when you get your emails. You need to just make sure I am going to, as soon as the groups are created, I will also create a practice session for HR Buzz so you can practice on giving each other feedback. I will have some nice questions in. But you need to make sure that you get the emails from TeamMates. It is often put in your quarantine email boxes or in your junk email boxes. Okay, I will pull up what it looks like now, and it opens into a TeamMates site where you do get notifications and emails sent from. Okay. I want to show you, okay, there's not going to be a response rate. Questions would look something like this. This is now where I can edit it. So one contribution that you make, and you can type your contribution in. There's different feedback paths that happens to me. What comments do you have regarding each person in your team? Make sure that if there's a person in this team, yeah, that's not in your team, that Mayonisa creates, that you let us know, because then then it's probably be either that somebody deregistered or that it might be one of those ghost students that are somewhere in the background. But I'm gonna stop sharing for now and then hand over to Dr. Koch to teach you guys a little bit about how to give constructive feedback.
Thank you, Dr. Stander. And hello, everyone. It's nice to join you here from Potchefstroom. I'm from the Northwest University, so I hope I can add some value to your session. Dr. Stander, can you please make me a presenter so I can start?
I will upgrade you.
Thank you. So it's very warm in Potchefstroom today. I don't know what's the weather like there.
It is very warm in Pretoria.
Okay, great. So let me start sharing my screen. So I'm here today. We also do group work here in Northwest University, and sometimes it's going well and sometimes not so well. So my key takeaways, what I want you from this presentation to go home with or take with you is why feedback is important, how it can add value, and how to give constructive feedback. So, Dr. Shana, can you confirm that you can see my screen? Anyone? Can you see my screen? Oh, yeah, there's a little heart. Oh,
Yes.
thank you. I see it. Okay. So constructive feedback. Why is feedback and why is it important? So receiving feedback gives people clear examples. Let me just switch off my camera. Gives people a clear example of what they are doing well and where they need to develop their skills. And that teaches them and helps them how to create effective plans to grow, both professionally and in their personal lives. Okay, if we look at the importance of why is peer review important in group work? Because we're now going to work in groups, and we do group work because the reality is in your life and in a working situation, you will work in groups, you will work with colleagues, you will work in a team. So, and the reality is you don't always get along with everyone, but you need to make it work and you need to be productive and you need to reach your goals. So that is why these skills are so important. So, and also why you need to really focus on taking something away from these peer review sessions. Taking something away, learn from them. And I'm going to tell you why peer feedback is important. So the first reason I could think of is it helps you learn better. Because when your classmates give feedback on your work, you get different viewpoints that can help you understand things more deeply. Especially when we're coming from different backgrounds and different cultures and different viewpoints, so we can really create a deeper understanding. It's like having an extra set of eyes to catch things that you might have missed. The second reason, it teaches you to work together. Like I said, by giving feedback, by giving and getting feedback from your peers, you learn how to work well with others. This is super important for real life situations where teamwork is essential. It also makes you responsibility because you know that your group mates will evaluate your contributions, and this makes you more likely to take part in the project seriously because you know you're going to get marks for this. So in a way, this is making sure that everyone pulls their weight in the group work. Okay, so it also makes you better at judging your own work because now when you give feedback to others, you also learn how to evaluate your own work more effectively and your own part as a team member. So this helps you to see what you are good at and what you need to work on. Builds trust and respect in a group. Giving and receiving helpful feedback from each other creates this supportive atmosphere where everyone feels valued. I see a lot of times in our feedback, people are struggling with communication and they're maybe a very shy member. And in the first rounds, people are commenting about how they want them to contribute more. And these shy members actually work on those skills. And you clearly see the feedback from the second session where you can see these people actually worked on those skills and are now feeling a little bit more comfortable to voice their opinion and contribute. So it's really easier to work together when you trust and you respect each other, and giving this feedback encourages that. The sixth reason, it helps you grow as a person. Because giving and receiving feedback is not just about the work, it's also about understanding each other better. It teaches you to be kind and understanding, even when you're critiquing someone's work. So can you see the value of feedback? Can you give me a thumbs up if you see the value of feedback? Okay, there I got a thumbs up. Okay, great. So you guys now see why it is important to give feedback in a group situation. So now, again, just a closing thought. So when you give and receive feedback from peers in group work, you are not just improving the project. You are also, and this is important, becoming a better learner, a better teammate, and a better person overall. So I want you to, when you do that peer reviewing, go in with that mindset. So with regards to constructive feedback, okay, now we've got two different kinds of feedback, and I can assure you we also saw it here. So constructive feedback, this is feedback that focuses on specific actions or behaviors, and it offers suggestions for improvement. Destructive feedback tends to be negative, personal, and lacks the guidance on how to enhance performance. Okay, so I'm going to give you examples of deconstructive feedback, but listen now, make notes. This is what not to do. Okay, this is what not to do. So if we talk about workload, don't say you're always behind schedule causing delays. Can you get your act together and start meeting deadlines? Don't say that. Or it's obvious you can't handle the tasks. Maybe you should let someone else take over. So if we look at the constructive feedback, it's something like, I've noticed you're taking on a lot of tasks, and I'm concerned because you do get those task members, that team member that wants to do everything. So this is a good feedback to give. Know that you take on, would you be open to discussing how we can distribute the workload? Or some tasks are behind schedule, impacting our progress. Can we reassess our responsibilities and deadlines to ensure everything gets done on time? Okay, so if we look at attitude, your negative attitude is bringing everyone down. Can you stop complaining and start being more positive? And you're always so defensive when receiving feedback, and you stop being so sensitive and take critic. So this, don't say things like that. Okay, this is what you can rather say. You can either compliment them, your positive attitude and collaboration are appreciated, but I've observed moments of frustration. Let's address any concerns openly to maintain a supportive team environment. Now that sounds better, né? And it's saying the same thing. Or negativity can impact the team morale. Let's work together to address any challenges constructively and maintain a positive atmosphere throughout the project. You see how you can voice the same thing and just do it differently and more constructive. So again, this one in communication, your lack of communication is frustrating. Can you just keep the team informed instead of leaving us in the dark? Well, your communication skills are terrible. Learn to express yourself. You're confusing everyone. Let's see how we can better voice that. You can give them a compliment. Your clear communication about project updates has been helpful, but I've noticed gaps in communication between team members. Can we establish a communication plan to ensure everyone is informed? Or effective communication is the key to our success. Let's make sure we're communicating proactively and addressing any misunderstandings promptly to keep our project on track. The last one is the contribution. There's also what not to do. You're not pulling your weight. You slacking off, we do all the work. Your contributions are weak and you don't step up your game. So let's see how we can say that better. I appreciate your effort, but it seems that tasks are unevenly distributed. Can we discuss how we can balance the workload more equitably? Or your input during discussions has been valuable, but I believe we could benefit from more involvement from you during the execution. Can we work together? Then remember, when you give marks, assign scores to reflect how you really feel about the extent to which the other members contribute to your learning and or your team's performance. Some instances we see that everyone just gives everyone full marks and the best, but this is also an opportunity to reward the members of your team who actually worked hard on your behalf. If you give everyone the same score, you will be actually hurting those who did the most and helping those who did the least. So each member's feedback score will be an average of the points they receive. Well, yeah, that is how it works. Okay, so remember the purpose of the peer review, and this is so important, is to help students to develop their teamwork skills. And this skills is the skills they will use in their career someday. So it is expected from team members to give their honest reflections on how they perceive you as a team member, and you need to use those feedback to improve your teamwork skills. So don't take it personally. Use it to better your teamwork skills. So just lastly, some tips. Be specific. Focus on specific behaviors and actions rather than making generalizations. Provide examples to illustrate your points. Be balanced. You can acknowledge the strengths and the areas for improvement. Highlighting what was done will help maintain motivation and confidence while addressing areas that needs attention. So you need to also be objective. Base your feedback on facts and observations rather than assumptions on personal opinions. This will help to ensure that your feedback is fair and unbiased. You must be constructive. Offer feedback in a positive and supportive manner, focusing on solutions rather than pointing the problem. Because remember, this is the whole moral of the story. You need to say something that can be improved. So use language also that encourage growth and development. Be empathetic. Remember, empathy means placing yourself in someone else's shoes. Ne? So remember, if you give feedback, how you would have felt that to be on the receiving end of that feedback. So consider the recipient's feelings and perspective when delivering feedback. Choose your words carefully to avoid unnecessary offense of defensiveness. So it's also not helpful when you say something negative and this team member is negative, and then for the rest of the teamwork, it's even worse. So then you have just accomplished nothing. You've actually made it worse. So just think about that when you give feedback. To be actionable, this is very important. Provide actionable suggestions for improvements. Offer specific steps or strategies that the recipient can implement to address the feedback. You want them to come more prepared to the session. Tell them that in a way that they can actually read through the content prior to your group meeting or whatever. Just make it actionable. And lastly, just be respectful. Treat the recipient with respect and professionalism, even when you get feedback that is critical. Use a respectful tone and avoid using language that is demeaning and disrespectful. Because, like I said, in the workplace, that you are going to be, the reality is most probably you're going to be in a team and you have to be in that team. There's no out or there's no one to complain to. So you can either make it better, be that team member that improve your team, or be that team member that is actually a negative influence. So I hope through this learning journey, you can grow those skills and just keep it always in the back of your mind. This is why we do it. Okay, so Dr. Stander, I hope that answers some questions and that your students will really focus on constructive feedback.
Thank you, Ria. I'm sure the students learned how to do this. And guys, it's a learning curve. You don't just wake up one day and know how to give constructive feedback. But when you write something, and if you think of it, if I write something to Dr. Koch that I did in a way that would upset me, it's likely that it's going to be upsetting to her as well. So write it in a way that it would not upset you. And like I said earlier, if you don't know how to write it constructively, go to ChatGPT, Pi, any one of those, and ask them, this is what I want to say, but please write it in a way that it would not be upsetting. And I will change it and you can just put that in there.
I was wondering how you were sending me all these nice emails, Dr. Stander.
Yeah, no. Edit them quickly. Yeah. So just check that if you watch out, if you just think a bit, use the tools, it really takes you 10 seconds to do it in one of those AI things, and I do help with it. I've added in the chat, I've added the teammatesonline.info is the email address where you would get the teammates notifications from. I've added you, Dr. Koch, Dr. van Wyk, I've used you as well as a guinea pig for teammates. I've added us all to a team. I want to show you what the email would look like that you would get once you have been added to a team. So it does not come from a UNISA email address, guys. In TeamMates, this is the tool that we use. 2 of your assignments, it contributes to your assignments. 2 of them is based on the feedback that you give. This is the email that you would receive, right? You would see here that you, for each person, would get a different link because you are then, I type the list of groups that I get from my UNISA, and I upload these groups then to TeamMates using your MyLife email addresses. And so if Dr. Koch, Dr. van Wyk, and I are in a team, Dr. Koch needs to get an email to write me and Dr. van Wyk. I get the email to write them, and Dr. van Wyk gets the email to write us. So every person gets a unique link that they would have to click on and open and then give feedback. So I cannot send you a link to this assignment. You will need to add this TeamMates online to your safe email addresses so that you can get it. It does it does go to your junk email address. It does go into quarantine. So when we do the exercise, I hope that by the brown bag, I would be able to have uploaded everyone so that you can make sure that you have that you are there. Okay, so please just make sure that you are able to get these notifications. Okay. Do you have questions on constructive feedback that you want to ask Dr. Koch in the meantime? No? Okay, then I'm just gonna show you a little bit more on TeamMates. Okay, so the TeamMates site does look like this. You do not have to go and create an account with TeamMates. You can, but you will also see that it does require, if you create an account, right, it does require you to create it using a Gmail account. Okay, so it is a OER, it doesn't cost anybody anything. Okay. So, and it enables peer-to-peer evaluation. It does do it anonymously, so you guys do not have to worry that people will know who gave what feedback. But I also limit the verbal feedback to make sure that you guys, stay within the barriers of being constructive. Make sure that when you do this, that you take the time to do it. You will get a notification that you have submitted your feedback. Then on My UNISA, you need to paste a screenshot that you have submitted the feedback. If you do not put that up, My UNISA cannot register that you did indeed submit something for the assignment. So even though this is done outside and I draw the marks that you give each other for contribution to the teams from here, and I send the marks in order for you to get a mark, you need to submit something, some other proof that you have submitted your review of your team members here. And you will note that those assignments, the specific sessions, right, that open here, close before the assignment due date. This is to force you to go do this to submit on My UNISA. Hayden, I can tell you last year it was 4 and 9. Let me just check in tutorial letter of Lana 1 what the assignment numbers are. And Dr. Koch has also used this in their modules very successfully. Just having a look at which assignments these are. Give me a moment.
Yes, to add with you, Dr. Stander, I think the biggest success of this system was to see the growth within the teams. Actually, the teams that struggled the most to work together in the beginning, we had 2 rounds. The first round, you can see, oh, these guys are struggling. And then in the end, you can see the growth that happened. So, yeah, this is very successful indeed. I hope that will be the case with you, your students as well.
I think it would depend on how you are using this tool, right? So if you are using it in order to punish people or to be nasty or to get back at somebody, you know, to write a nasty comment to Dr. Koch because I don't like the color of her hair and or that type of thing, then it is going to be no learning from it. The reason why we do this is to, first of all, make sure that everybody can participate, but also that you can learn from your peers and that you can learn how to be a better teammate. Okay. So you will be providing, it would be a Likert scale for the rating that you get, but and it would also be some comments. So it is specifically assignment 6 and assignment 10 for 2024 year. So assignment 6 and assignment 10, it is also in individual assignments. This contributes 10% of your total year mark. Okay. All right, so assignment 6 and assignment 10 is the individual marks related to it. Assignment 9 is a reflective exercise, which is also individual. So the effectiveness and how this helps and how this will contribute to your learning, it's going to be dependent on how you take your feedback that you get. Okay. So it doesn't help if you fight this the whole time or use this to be a tool to punish people. You know, like Dr. Koch showed you, it's easy to write, and we, in this digital world, we are a bit distant from each other. So it's difficult. It's often easy to give people unconstructive feedback. Okay, but try not to stay away from that. Okay. There were a few, you can raise your hand or if there are any other questions regarding this. I want to just have a look at the chat. Richard, Matilda, you've asked if Richard can come back tomorrow to help with the Teams issue. Yes, he said he will come in and out tomorrow. Today they're just a little bit busy. So tomorrow he will be in and out to help with any Teams issues and that type of thing. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
You can create Telegram groups, you can create WhatsApp groups, you can create any type of groups that you wanted. Just remember that officially the university communicates only through My Life, the Teams platform, and your Moodle sites or your MyUnisa sites. If you communicate on the honors groups and things on WhatsApp, even now that I am in the honors in business management group, that is not an official group that the university is in, not the official communication channel. I see there's a hand.
Dr. Stander, when you said that we need to add the email address to our safe email, the alerts at Teams, is that on the Teams platform?
No, it would be on your Outlook.
The My Life one?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, on your My Life one. So add that to the safe list because it will come through to your MyLife email addresses. We use the MyLife email addresses to send out, to group you in this teammates sessions. Okay. I want to
Thanks.
see if there are any other questions coming through on this. Dr. Koch, do you have any other words of wisdom when it comes to teamwork?
No, I just think embrace it because there is things happening in a team. And when a team works well together, when a team doesn't work well, it's awful to be in that team. So make a point of not being that member that actually brings the team down. If a team is a difficult team, try to be that member that actually tries to keep it together and lift up the team and not bring it down. Don't be that person in a team.
Yes. No, I want to echo that. And I must say, from all the teams, there were about 160 teams in the last cohort. There were about 3 that were dysfunctional and that didn't work well together. So
some of
you
the
can-
teams that oh, sorry, Dr. Shana, for interrupting.
Mm-mm.
I'm thinking from experience. Some of the teams that starts out the worst, and we've seen this over years. Those teams that you think, oh, Nia, these people are going nowhere, and then in the end we get the best work. So if they can pull together those groups, we get the best work from them. So really, don't lose hope. So those teams can pull together and deliver great things.
Yes. So remember what the Prof showed you earlier. You have to go through a storming stage. And it's important, guys, that you do choose a leader for your team. That person needs to make sure that you have submitted the assignment. And also, you will learn now throughout the course of the week that there is a bit of a delay putting assignments through Turnitin. So don't wait until number 99 to submit an assignment as a team, because everybody will have to click to submit it through. Go and click, please. It will pull through automatically. So say Dr. Koch is out running and she forgot to push click. It's fine. You don't have to panic. You don't have to WhatsApp me and say, Ria is running. She's not pushed the button yet. What's going to happen? It will pull through. But when it comes to a point where students, I see that, sorry, Ria, that Dr. Koch is not doing a part and students are starting to complain. I go there and I look if you did push the submit button. And then I will tell you, Ria, listen, you haven't even pushed the submit button.
Because I
on
am
these
most
things.
probably running then. I'm sorry.
I know. And and then she can't say, yeah, but then I can say, but you didn't even do the little bit of going to push the button, right? So how can you prove that you made a contribution if you didn't even push the submit button? So go and push the submit button, right? Do your part, okay? All right, the groups, I will not be adding anyone to adding people to any groups now. I will only be adding you to a group on the 1st of April once registration has closed. Okay, Dr. Koch, I'm going to stop the recording now. And I just want to again thank you for your time and for joining us all the way from Potch.